Yesterday, I opened up $10 million worth of positions, and right now already, we are in a profit over $130,000. And on today's update video, obviously, I'm going to be talking about the breakout on Ethereum we exactly predicted on the channel. I want to be talking about where we are exactly heading towards next, because we're once again retesting this major level of resistance. I'm gonna be exactly give you my forecast about what is about to be happening in the next 1.5 months, which we are right now seeing, and of course, how you could benefit from this with trading this market right now. So a lot to discuss once again on today's update video. I'm gonna be talking about a big breakout that is going to be happening very soon on Bitcoin as well here. So guys, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes. Will be highly appreciated, and let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So first of all, if I'm looking at Bitcoin only, you can see it has been very boring, but ultimately what we're seeing is that we're creating a higher low structure together with a lower high structure, and basically Bitcoin is in the middle of this big consolidation phase. And if I'm looking then at the liquidity heat map, I can see there's liquidity building up below us and above us, and to be very honest, if I am seeing this chart, what I am expecting is going to be happening next year is first either a sweep towards the downside and then a push towards the upside, or either first a push towards the upside and then a big dump towards the downside to grab both sides of the liquidity. So expect a lot of volatility potentially to be happening today, because usually on the Sunday we do see a lot of volatility. And either if it's not going to be happening today, it is going to be, of course, tomorrow. And yes, I discussed this many times before, but Bitcoin is basically in this post-push consolidation, and this is something we have seen many times before after we broke above such kind of a range here. I mean, Bitcoin this cycle moves up in phases, and every single time we break outside of such a phase, we see some consolidation, which is currently happening. And of course, Ethereum is massively benefiting from this consolidation, but of course, ultimately, I am expecting still a continuation higher is going to be happening, because ultimately, if I'm looking at my targets, 130 to about $140,000 is where really I should start to think this is going to be the top side of this move towards the upside. But for now on, it remains to be that that is not the case here. And of course, the timing of this market is also very important. I see many people not really paying attention towards this, but of course, I try to say it almost every single time in my videos that I believe this is the last part of the cycle, and that of course, always in these last part of the cycles, we see big rotations towards altcoins. That is why I'm currently also decided to long everything, and of course I did so on yesterday's video, and on the video before I showed you all my entries. So yeah, you can't really say I didn't show you. And of course guys, really we're right now in a profit of about I deposited $1 million approximately in this account, and now we're sitting on 1.12. so yeah, we're in profit of about $125,000 US. And of course, like I said many times before as well, my goal on this account is make it from 1 million to 10 million. So that is exactly what I will be doing as well here in these videos. My strategy right now on how to realize this is basically long the rotation. So I am long on Ethereum, Dogecoin, Tron, Cardano, Pepe, Ondo. All these coins, I think the money is going to be rotating towards. Also from Bitcoin to Ethereum. But it doesn't mean that I'm not long on Bitcoin, because I'm also in about a $4 million long position on Bitcoin right now as well here. So that one is still break even. But I think where the big money is going to be made is, of course, on my Ethereum trade, but also on this Pepe trade where I'm betting very heavily on as well here. So yeah, I am just betting heavily on this rotation. And guys, I have seen many people asking me also in the link description, what is the best exchange to trade on? Really, my personal preference is Weeks. I think Weeks is the best exchange out there. It is first of all a non-KYC exchange. Of course, only use it if it's allowed in your region. But guys, on Weeks right now, if you sign up an account using the highest link in today's video description, you will get a free $100 US. If you sign up an account, confirm your email and confirm your phone number, you'll get a free $100 rewarded towards your account, which you can already trade with. And also, you can get up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses if you deposit some funds yourself. So yeah, really, the best exchange out there is definitely going to be Weex. It's a very user-friendly exchange here, and personally, this is where I'm going to be taking all my next trades on right now here. And also with these trades, whenever I'm going to be taking any profits or whatsoever, I will just let you know in my next video or in an emergency video I will be making on the channel. Because yes, it's going to be very very important because I'm using a little bit higher leverage that I'm going to keep you guys updated. So make sure to also subscribe to the channel right now here, because if you are subscribed to the channel right now, and I will drop an emergency video just like I did a couple days ago, because 2 days ago I also made this video. I am opening up 3 new 10x long positions, and that is of course exactly these positions that I revealed in this video. And then of course yesterday, I even added towards my positions because I do believe this big rotation is happening. And let me right now go further in towards the content to tell you why I believe this big rotation is going to be happening. So, of course, last week we saw BlackRock buy over $1.7 billion worth of Ethereum, which is quite insane. And of course, every single cycle on Bitcoin and crypto has been the same here. First, the money flows to Bitcoin, then to Ethereum, then to large caps. And now we're seeing this big inflow happening in towards Ethereum. Of course, we're seeing large institutions, pension funds, and treasury companies are starting to be buying Ethereum. And of course, ultimately, this money is going to be flowing back in towards that altcoin market. And of course, we can also see the open interest is going to all-time highs here. So more and more volatility is expected. But also in yesterday's video, I discussed this downward sloping resist line, upward sloping support line. And of course, whenever we did saw the breakout of this pattern, we just seen the continuation higher. And of course, I believe this level, which I talked about many times before, is the most important level of resistance. But as soon as we break above it, there's not going to be a lot of resistance all the way up to $4,100. So that is, of course, the next level I am expecting Ethereum is going to be moving towards. Of course, on the monthly time frame, we're still seeing some slight resistance, but whenever we break above this level right here, yeah, the target on the top side is quite insane here, because ultimately, if we just look at this consolidation phase here, the price target is going to be $7,500, which is, of course, a quite insane target if you would ask me here. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of more resistance along the way up here, because personally, I think the biggest resistance and the biggest job to be breaking above of is going to be that 4K region, where I think we're not just easily going to be breaking above of course. And yeah, I mean, I discussed this so many times before here, but this is just always the case in the last part of the cycle, right? We are right now in these last 3 to 2 months in the Bitcoin bull market cycle, according to history, according to timings, and of course, always in this later stage of the cycle, like you can see over here as well, is where the biggest gains were realized. Like from here to here in the last 2 months, Ethereum pushed up over 400%. Then also, if I'm going to be looking at the last 2 months from the low to the high, here it moved up about 85% here in just a matter of 49 days here, which is of course absolutely insane. And that is, of course, where we're currently at here. We're at that later stage of the cycle where the big gains are always realized. And that's also the case for altcoins in general. I mean, if we're just looking at the total tree, excluding stablecoins and divided by Bitcoin, you can just see it makes a lot of sense right now to see the market explode from this point onward. So super excited for that, of course. Of course, you can see here on the Bitcoin dominance, we're seeing that bearish crossover on the RSI as well. And obviously, it is right now starting to become risk on season, because Ethereum compared to Bitcoin is starting to be breaking out here. And of course, always whenever this happens, we tend to see risk on season, which means that people are going to start to be buying altcoins very aggressively again here. And of course, that is where I'm betting on with my trades. That is where it all comes back towards. I opened up so many long trades on all these altcoins, because altcoins, most of them are still very oversold. And I just want to be making sure that I am going to be one of the first to long this next rally towards the upside, because retail isn't really back yet here, but I really believe whenever the continuation of this move towards the upside is going to be happening, retail is going to be returning, and we are obviously going to be seeing altcoins absolutely explode again here. Because if you also just look at the Bitcoin dominance, really, we are only at the beginning of this move towards the downside. I mean, just look at all these previous big corrections. If you bought altcoins over here, you were very, very, very early, because the altcoin market because the Bitcoin dominance took another 35% hit towards the downside. And that obviously it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is obviously very, very much for the entire altcoin market. So guys, once again, if you need a best exchange out there to trade altcoins, don't forget to go to the highest link description of today's video, because if you do go there, you will get the best offer available right now in the market. So sign up an account 2 weeks. Check it out in the link description of today's video, guys. But anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap up that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.